Mark Twain once said, 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than by the ones you did. An avid traveller who crossed the Atlantic Ocean at least 29 times and circumnavigated the world on several occasions, he also once said, throw off the bowlines, sail away from the safe harbour, catch the trade winds in your sails, explore, dream. I believe he was encouraging us all to travel and to not regret not doing so in later years. Russia. I know, I don't know, like it's one of these things, I don't know, it's hard to explain. We've been locked up in Australia for a couple of years, borders have been closed. I am ethnically next door neighbours to Russia, so I'm ethnically Finnish, and I remember when I went to Finland as a 12-year-old, we were sort of travelling along, we did a road trip around Finland basically, and I remember they were talking about Russia and the border. We were actually right near the border, and I remember looking up and seeing just this dark, really dense line of conifers, but they were really close together, and like it was an impenetrable wall of conifers.
Yeah.
And it was a long way in the distance, but you could clearly see it was a line of conifers, and I just remember looking over at that line of conifers thinking, I wonder what's on the other side of that.
Well.
And so I don't know, like I just, and it's a challenge going there. I'm going by myself, so that's a challenge. I actually haven't ever travelled overseas by myself.
Yeah.
And yes, travel is fun, and it's so exciting. I mean, I wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't exciting. But yeah, it's a lot of effort too, and yeah, it's scary. I'm a bit nervous.
Yeah.
So this is going to be my hand luggage, and this is a backpack that we actually bought when we went to Brazil. And I was going to have one of those mini suitcases as my hand luggage. But going down to Victoria was actually a good practice run, because lugging this little mini suitcase around, then I thought I'm going to be waiting at Dubai airport after a 14-hour flight for about 6 hours. I think I'm at Dubai airport, and to lug around this sort of mini suitcase and then also my smaller backpack on my back is a lot to lug around. So I thought just have it all in one basically. So this is all I'll have as my hand luggage. Going to Russia is really hard in a way in terms of the weather and dressing, because see, I'll be leaving from the Gold Coast, so it's very hard to know what to wear, to be 100% honest. So jeans, obviously I'm going to have jeans. Then I'm just going to have a t-shirt. So this is one of my favourite t-shirts. I just got it from Cotton On here in Surfers Paradise. So I'm just going to have this t-shirt. That's going to be my absolute base. These socks are really taggy and thick and homey socks, but the reason I'm wearing them is because my footwear is going to be my Doc Martens. So I just thought these are going to be good padding, because you know how you haven't worn shoes for a while, you tend to get blisters, and I'm going to be wearing these Doc Martens for a very long time, many hours. So I'm going to wear really thick socks, and these are really old socks as well, and they've got holes in them. So I've got a spare pair of socks and a spare t-shirt, and at Dubai airport, if my feet are feeling too horrible and I just need to refreshen up a bit after a 14-hour flight, I might actually biff these and put my spare socks on. So that's what I'm going to wear on the plane. And then for warmth, I mean, I don't particularly like this top either, but I bought it from, I think I bought it from Mountain Warehouse, and so it's just a thermal. It's black. I don't really like the colour, but they didn't have any other options. So I'll probably just have this around my waist, because it actually doesn't really fit in here, while I'm hanging around Brisbane airport, because of course I have to get a COVID test, which makes this even more stressful. I have to get a COVID test within 48 hours of landing in Russia, which means I have to get the COVID test at Brisbane airport and wait the 90 minutes before I board the plane down to Sydney to get the result. If the result hasn't come through, the same company does the tests in Sydney, and then I'll be able to go to the Sydney COVID testing site and ask for a printout of my result. So getting these COVID tests makes the whole process more stressful. So I'll just have this slung around my waist, and then on the actual plane I'll then just probably wear this while I'm just over my t-shirt. This will be for warmth. But then I've got a fantastic Air hoodie that I bought. This is actually a good brand, but it's an Air hoodie and it's really light fabric, so it cost over $200, but I thought going to Russia I probably need something pretty warm and nice. So this is actually a plastic sort of wrapping case that a pillowcase came in. So if you're buying new pillowcases, I actually recommend keeping the pillowcase, the plastic cases that come in it, that they come in, because they make the best bags. Like they've got this sticky here, and you can they make really good travel bags basically. So you can put whatever you want in that plastic bag, and then just keep sealing it. So I'm really glad I kept that because it's coming in useful now. But so I'm going to have a spare pair of socks and a spare t-shirt. So I think in Dubai they do have free showers at Dubai Airport, because I think Dubai Airport is one of the best airports in the world, and yeah, they've got some really luxury things there. However, they are obviously for people that pay to go to the lounges or business class travellers. But they do have free showers in one of the lounges that travellers like me can just go and use. So we'll see how I'm feeling when I get to Dubai, but that is an option. But anyway, so clean t-shirt, clean socks, which might make me feel a bit more human after such a long flight. And this is my Air hoodie. So what makes this so beautiful, see, it's actually got a hood on it, and it's like sort of, so basically it's, you know, like a jumper type thing with a hood. But what makes it so beautiful is it's the thinnest material ever. Like it's as light as a cloud, and apparently if you wash it, like mountain hikers and people that go to Mount Everest and that sort of stuff, this is the sort of stuff that that you would buy, you know, light as anything, easy to carry, but really warm. So being in Dubai for 6 hours is going to give me a chance to get my laptop out. But of course, I'm going to need an adapter. So this is my adapter just for Dubai. So this makes travel hard as well, because I've also got 2 adapters for Russia, but I won't be able to charge my phone or laptop in Dubai without one of these. So I'll be able to plug this in and then charge my laptop. But yeah, so this is something I need. If I didn't have this, I wouldn't be able to do it. So Panadol, I've got a lot of things just in case, which is the hard thing about travel in a way, because you kind of don't know what to expect. Like, you don't know if you're going to get a headache or not. Like, you know, if I do get a headache, I've got Panadol with me, but you know, then I'm not going to get a headache, and I've brought this over for nothing. This has got my laptop in it. This has also got masks. And then this is actually what I got when we went to Los Angeles and we had enough Qantas points to upgrade to business class, and I was actually sitting in business class with Chris Hemsworth and his wife and kids and I actually didn't even recognise him. Like, he was in a seat sort of a few rows in front of us, and when he stood up and walked past, I sort of, oh wow, who's this guy? But I didn't actually know it was Chris Hemsworth, but yes, it was Chris Hemsworth. Anyway, when you're in Qantas business, you get this really awesome little pouch, and it comes with all these things. So obviously I used up all the things when we were in business class, but I kept this. And so this has just got deodorant in it. This is, again, if I want to freshen up in Dubai, like change my t-shirts. I thought, well, I should bring deodorant as well. And it's also got toothbrush and toothpaste, because I think I looked up what you get, because I'm flying Emirates actually. I mean, we booked it through Qantas, but it's an Emirates A380 plane, and apparently on some flights they do give you, even in economy, some sort of refresher pouch, and so I might actually get one in Emirates, but again, I don't know if I'm going to get one or not. So this is the other thing about travel, you've always got to be prepared. And I've got earplugs for on the plane. I'm actually going to attempt to sleep on that flight, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to. And I've got band-aids in here as well, because like I'm sort of anticipating I might get a few blisters from my Doc Martens, especially having to wear them for so many hours. And I've actually got a little sewing kit. I know that's probably a bit stupid, but look, my socks might get another hole, so I might want to sew them up. You never know. So I've got that, and post-it notes, and a pen. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've got in here. So. Okay, so this section. I think this section is probably going to be the section I'll be using the most on the plane. Well, this is my mobile phone charger, tissues, My xylitol mints. One day I'll have to do a video on xylitol and how good it is for your teeth. Like, it is genuinely brilliant for your teeth. Look it up, Google it, xylitol for teeth. It fights cavities. Then this is extremely important. And believe me, this might look excessive. I actually wanted to bring more. I had to pare this down. But this, oh, and a mask. Ta-da! I can't wait, seriously. Full movie. I've got my snacks already. I've got plenty of snacks. Do you think this will be enough? You know, look, it might not be. I mean, this might only last Brisbane Airport. I might not even have, I might have eaten it all by the time I get to Sydney. But all these little mini ones, and then I've got some blocks of really good quality chocolate, because I live on chocolate. I actually eat it every day. So there you go. There's my snack pack. So that's that. I don't think I'll run out. And then another thing I've got here is I actually use these. So these are disposable gloves that you can just buy in the supermarket. I mean, they're food handling gloves, but when you're traveling and using public toilets, you just put a pair of these on and you just go to the toilet, and then that's it. And then throw them out, disposable. So they're just so handy. These were hard to find actually during the pandemic, because a lot of people were clicking to these, because not only do they help protect my hands, they also obviously protect you against viruses. But there's a hint. If you ever have to use a public toilet that you just can't even breathe in because it's so disgusting, just put a pair of those gloves on and then you don't actually touch anything. So last compartment here in this awesome backpack is probably the most important section, really, and this sort of takes the place of the smaller backpack that I always have on my back, but I really don't want too many things to carry. I just want one thing. So this is kind of the equivalent of a little handbag space, if you like. Passport, very important. So that's going to go there, and well, it is there, and phone is going to go just behind the passport, actually here. So this is a tight squeeze, but it does fit. Pens, being a journalist, I always need pens. Now this is also very important. This is as important as the snack pack, to be honest, because one thing I discovered just recently going down to Victoria was very good practice for the big trip, because I used, they also had in-flight entertainment on the back of the seat, and I used their headphones. Man, the sound quality is shit with their headphones. It's all fuzzy, and I couldn't even, like, I was trying to watch a movie, but you couldn't really even determine, you know, what they were saying. And so then Luke was sitting next to me, and he had a pair of very good quality earplugs. And so I plugged that in, and oh, it was instantly so much better. So this is awesome. I'm going to have this on the flight. And this, what's this? I've almost forgotten. Aha! This is this was actually really hard to find, and they didn't have much of it. We went to a local bank here. They did not have much currency, but these are euros. So I've never seen a euro before, but these are euros. There are some places where if you just want to buy a bottle of water or something, the kiosk won't take credit card for that. You have to pay cash. So there could still be places like that. So about $40 in euros. And this, who has seen Russian currency? I had never seen Russian currency before. So this is Russian currency. Here it is. So I've got probably, I don't actually know how much I've got. So look, honestly, I am worried about how I'm going to go. I don't even know how much this is worth. That's the honest truth. I'm going to have to Google it. Oh, here it is. Okay, so good. Now I know. So 500 rubles is just under, or it's just over $9. So just under $10. So I have 4 times 500 Russian rubles. I have less than $40 here. That was useful to know that. So I am going to Russia by myself, obviously, and so that's a big challenge. But when I say by myself, I still have had Luke to help me very much with things like the forms and the visa applications and all that sort of stuff. So Russia's one of those countries that, yes, you do actually have to apply for a visa. So what did we have to do for our visa? We
had to await an invitation from the Russian government.
Yeah.
We had to send that invitation to the Russian consulate in Sydney, along with a passport photo.
That was stressful.
Your passports.
Yes, that was stressful.
Then a and then you pay a sizable amount of money. In our case, in total, was over $1,200.
Oh wow!
And
that much?
They
That's a lot.
then issue a visa which lasts for 90 days and is valid for 2 entries.
Yeah, and that was really stressful actually to apply for my visa, because what you have to do is it's in Sydney, the only place you can apply for a Russian visa, and you have to do it in person, but because of the COVID pandemic and everything, they said yes, because we couldn't go down to New South Wales at the time when we were supposed to be applying for it.
It makes it hard.
It was very hard, and so we had to send my passport down by mail, which is always a bit risky, like you don't want the passport to get lost, but no, it's all good, it's come back. So we sent it down and it's come back. This is my packing buddy. I am going to miss this guy, so yeah, I'm going to miss you so much. He's my boy. He's my good boy, and he loves having his back scratched. And when Amity's away, the first thing she always, when we FaceTime and she sees Piper on FaceTime, she just says, I just want to cuddle him. He's our therapy dog. He's actually the whole family's therapy dog. If we've had a bad day, just if I'm in a bad mood, Luke will actually pick Piper up and come towards me and say, here, do you want a Frenchie? And I say, yes, I do. I do want a Frenchie. With this whole COVID pandemic thing, rules are changing daily almost. So at the way it stands right this very second, it does look like I'm going to have to stay in New South Wales for a couple of days before I come back to Queensland. So this is what makes travel to Russia a bit challenging as well. I need a couple of summer dresses for Sydney when I land from Russia, so totally opposite to what's in my suitcase at the moment. So I'm going to have to pick a couple of dresses. So, you know, like I've got heaps. One thing I love about, I mean, here's one I could take. One thing I love about living in Queensland is you can just live in dresses. I love dresses. I hate jeans and long tops. And so basically, this is just my standard fare. I just live in these dresses. This is a nice dress, but this is probably more a slightly better dress. So what I need for Sydney is the sort of dresses that I can both lounge around in the hotel, that they're comfortable enough for that, and also good enough to just go shopping and stuff out and about. So I think this is another dress. I wore this when we went exploring, when we did the Caligula Trail, Creek Trail video, and yes, this is a really comfortable dress. Maybe this is possibly a really good option actually. For
Yeah,
Sydney.
that might be a good option.
Yeah, like it's really comfortable, so I can just lounge around in the hotel if I want to, but it's also smart enough to just put sandals on and go shopping and out to a cafe if I want some coffee.
So that's one down.
That's one down. Okay, so I'll bring this one. Well, I might actually hang that up here. I've got that now. It's going to probably come off the thing, but I think I should balance it. Okay, so that's one. And I got to be honest, maybe this one might be another option, because this is the same. When you find something that works, just buy two of them if you really love it. And I love these dresses so much. So I got one in each colour, a blue one and a red one, and they're just from Sports Girl. And I got them last year, and they were cheap as, like about probably $30 each. Like they're really great. And but I like the red one best. That's my favourite colour. So
Number two.
you reckon number two? Yeah, I reckon this will do Sydney. Don't you think? Like
Yep.
Two comfortable summer dresses, and very importantly, very light material, so they'll be able to bunch up really tight in my suitcase. Time to have a break from packing. And you know how I said I pretty much live on chocolate? That honestly is the truth. I have chocolate every day. Chocolate has many health benefits, especially this Poppy's chocolate Rocky Road that we got for Christmas. So how awesome is this to break into? Don't laugh. I would have actually liked to have brought this with me in my hand luggage, but it's too big and chunky, so I've restrained myself. I think if I was bringing the little mini suitcase thing, I would have been tempted to put that into the suitcase. I would have. Don't laugh. I honestly would have. I'm being serious. But because I'm just bringing the backpack, even I had to concede that yes, this is probably too chunky. So that's okay. Perfect opportunity to eat it now, or at least get stuck into it a bit. And isn't this awesome? Like, there is nothing better than a massive chunk of something that you really like. I mean, what's the use of having this tiny little piece of rocky road? I mean, come on. It's much better to just have this giant piece of deliciousness that you can just cut into. Look, what I love about this, I mean, I've had this before, is you can pretty much cut into it like a cake. I mean, it's so great. And you can just actually cut a sliver off, because triangular slivers like this in the shape of a cake, they're easy to eat then, because you obviously want this to be user-friendly. So see, you kind of make it into like a wedge of cheese, then you just eat it. Delicious. Oh, really good. And Piper wants some as well. Although he can't have chocolate, but what he can do, when I have know. What I do when I eat Rocky Road around him, because he obviously can't have the chocolate, I just give him a little piece of marshmallow. And he's gonna love. So this is the suitcase that's coming to Russia with me. It's on the smallish side, but for me it feels still really heavy. And but yeah, it's a little bit of a, it's sort of a manageable size for me, really. Because if it was too big, it'd be just a pain. So I'm actually going to bring this downstairs into the lounge area to, see, this is fun. This is going to be fun going down the escalators with this. Wow, okay, bang, bang. So on top of the suitcase here, we've got these pockets. In this pocket, I've just got some real practical stuff. Face masks, spare masks, we bought 2 packets of these. Then, I know this is overkill and I've got heaps of these, but I actually sleep with earplugs in my ears, even at home, to be honest, because Surfers Paradise can get really noisy. So I've got earplugs there so I can sleep. Something else that's really useful that you often wish you have when you're traveling, I've actually packed some elastic bands as well, because there's nothing, like they're one of the things that you're trying to tie up a bag or something, you don't have any elastic bands, so these are just practical things. And this is another thing I learned, again, being a journalist, but even any profession really wants to do work on their laptop often when they're away, an extension cord. So this will allow me to be able to, because my laptop doesn't have that long a cord, so this, if the power cord is a little bit of a distance away from either a table or the bed, I'll be able to use this. So look, I actually really recommend, I always take an extension cord now when I'm traveling somewhere and staying in a hotel, because they're actually really useful. And this, I've got some gloves actually. I've got some warmer mittens as well for outdoor, but these are actually for indoor overnight. So a really good way to keep the skin on your hands a bit more moist is to lather them with moisturiser before you go to bed, and then whack on a pair of thin cotton sort of mitten type things overnight, and then the moisturiser sort of just goes into your skin really nice, and it keeps them soft. Okay. Oh, so here it is inside. It's heavy to lug around. Now here is my winter coat. Now I'm really excited about this. This is from Uniqlo. So I don't know if you know the brand Uniqlo, but the prices are really, really reasonable. It's a Japanese brand, and I saw this online because I was looking for really thick sort of winter coats that are also really light. This is the best thing ever. It's, wait till you see it on, I reckon it's really cute. Probably doesn't look like much at the moment because I've really squashed it down, but basically these pockets here are filled with down. So basically think of it as a waterproof doona. So you're actually going to wear a waterproof doona, and it is the nicest thing ever. It's actually got, it's got pockets, like so you can put your hotel keys or your phone in your pocket, and it's got a hood, and it's got a lovely zip, and the neck comes right up, so you know it's going to keep you really warm. So I'm actually going to put it on so you can see it. This is it, isn't it awesome? So yeah, basically think just waterproof doona, and it is so warm, and it's so soft, and it's so light. And best thing as well is the zipper, the pockets have zips. So, because I never like, if you've got your hotel key or your phone, you don't want to put it in a pocket without zips because it just doesn't feel secure enough. So it's got pockets, and it's even got a hood, and yeah, I love the fact that this comes right up. So yes, it's going to be very cold in St. Petersburg. I think most days the minimum might get to about 10 or some, minus 10, and the maximum might be -1 or something. Like I don't even know if it gets above 0 at this time of year, but there you go. I'm going to be so snug and warm in my waterproof doona. And then all I need is my jeans and Doc Martens and yeah, a thermal underneath this, and I reckon I'm just going to be just good. Got you. I got him.
You'll think you've got your suitcase packed and you'll get there and half your stuff's gone.
Yeah, and half the stuff's gone, seriously. So, as well to keep me warm, I'm going to bring this over. We actually bought this in New Zealand. I've also got a scarf, but you know what? I don't even know if I'm going to need my scarf with this coat. I mean, where would I even put it? Because this covers your neck. This is really cute though. So we got this in New Zealand, and it's a woolen hat. But then I don't even know if I'm going to need the hat because I've got this. See, you don't know, do you? Like we've
You're better off having it and being prepared.
Yeah, I know.
Because your scarf, if it's windy, you might need it.
Yeah. So what do you think of this red hat? Do you like this or do you like the blue hoodie better?
No comment.
Oh, okay. Is it that bad?
No, it's fine.
But it's a felt sort of, yeah, we got it from New Zealand.
Very practical.
And I've got, I don't know why, look at this. I actually packed 2 pairs of mittens. I'm not going to need 2 pairs, am I? Why not just bring 1 pair? See, this is why it's really good to pack a few days before and then go through your stuff, because then you then think, oh, actually, am I really going to need 2 pairs of mittens? Why not just bring 1 over? Although, do you know what the problem is with this, right? The problem when you only bring 1 pair is then you lose them and then you don't have any spare. So should I bring 2 pairs of mittens? Because mittens is something I'm really going to need. I can't go out in -10 without mittens. My hands are just going to, like, they won't be able to stand it.
For the little bit of room they take up, maybe you should
take both pairs.
It can't hurt. Stick a pair on the bottom of the case.
Yeah, well, because that is the only thing about, yeah, if there's something you really need and you only bring 1, then you lose it. And Piper's got my other green glove, so I'm going to have to chase him. Oh, here he comes. Piper, ta. So these are my clothes. As you can actually see, that's funny, my Toiletries bag takes up half the suitcase. My clothes take up the other half. So these are just practicals, like obviously undies, bras, like underwear. This is a nightie that I can't wait to hop into when I finally get to my destination. Pajamas, so just the basics. Another packet of these disposable gloves. Now, this is something really awesome that I'm going to bring over. I don't know if you've seen my video. It's on the health and beauty, no, it's on the health and wellbeing playlist, sorry, of this channel, Suvi'sJournalism. Activated phenolics. I actually interviewed the inventor of this product, Dr. Vincent Candrewinata. This is the best stuff ever. It's I won't open it now because once it's opened it has to go in the fridge. But it's basically activated phenolics that have been extracted from apples, super high antioxidants. This is a mainstay in my diet now. I have this twice a day. And so yes, I'm going to bring over a tub. So I'm going to have that. These socks are a real pain. So I bought these from Mountain Warehouse. These are one of the things where you buy something online and then they arrive and you really regret buying them, but I didn't return them. They're thermal socks basically, and they're long, so they're going to be really warm and they'll be good in my Doc Martens. But the thing I hate about them is these are thick as shit. They're like basically, they're wool, they're thick, they're going to take 3 days to dry if I wash them in the shower. Because I don't know how to do laundry over there. I don't have a little washing machine in the room. I don't think there's a communal laundry there. There's probably going to be a laundry somewhere in the streets in St. Petersburg. So when I travel, I sometimes do really little things like underwear and socks. I sometimes just do them in the shower. You just give them a bit of a wash with soap. But basically if I do these in the shower, they're going to take like a week to dry because they're so thick. So these are a really bad buy, basically. They're the opposite of my Uniqlo coat. They're thick and bulky and woolen. Oh, and the worst thing about these is you can't tumble dry them. So even if I did go to a laundromat, I can't even put them in the tumble dryer. So bad buy. So these are thermals, similar to the black one that I'm going to have on the plane, but much nicer. These are thin as anything. If you just wash them in the shower, just like sort of the armpit area, hang them over a chair in your hotel room, dry within a couple of hours, thin as anything. And look, I really like this colour. And I bought this online too, and I really like it. Like it's pretty good. I bought a grey one too, which I regret. I actually wish I'd bought two of this colour because this is a nicer colour, but there you go. And then I've got another one of these horrible, hateful black ones that I don't really like, but I guess they're practical, so what can you do? So they're just basic, you know, obviously just the basics. I'm also bringing over a couple of t-shirts, a couple of hair bands to keep my hair out of the way in the shower, another t-shirt that I just got these from Surfers Paradise. So these are just from the Cotton On shop here. And this is a pajama top that is going to be comfortable in the Hotel Rossi, and also, which I think will be nice while I'm there in the hotel, just some tracky dacks to bum around in the hotel room. Just some warm ones too, like these are from Country Road, so these are really nice and warm. So that's pretty much it. Oh, and I did actually buy this packet of socks too, for really cheap from Cotton On. You shouldn't be wasteful, but let's see how many pairs of these socks come back to Australia as well. But look, that's what some travellers say to do. They actually say buy a cheap pack of socks and then just recycle them after you've worn them once. I don't know if I'll do that. Look, I should bring them back. And another hint I learned from travelling is that this is actually a material bag that a doona came in quite a few years ago that we bought, and so I just kept the material bag, and this is now my laundry bag every time I go travelling, because I hate putting sweaty, dirty, damp things in a plastic bag to just swelter and go horrible. So basically it's much better to put your dirty laundry in a cloth bag, because then it just breathes and it's just, I don't know, it's just a bit nicer. And then I have got this huge bag. I know this is a little bit scary, but this is my toiletries bag. I can't even pull it up. It's so gigantic. But let's have a look what I'm bringing. Like the whole bathroom, I think. So here it is. It's the heaviest part of the suitcase. This is actually a really practical little bag. Look, it's got, because you know when I have a shower, I put my hair up, because I don't want to wash my hair every time I have a shower. So obviously I need hair clips to clip it up. So I've got hair clips here. I've got some makeup here that, you know, I've got deodorant here. And yes, I know I've got a small thing of deodorant as well in my hand luggage, in my backpack. But that's aluminium deodorant. It's a really strong deodorant. This is more a natural base one. Just a herbal one, you know, a body crystal actually. But I like using this at night. I don't like using the really strong one at night. So see, there's two deodorants as well. Like, this is such a pain. Obviously a comb. I mean, I have to have a comb. What else have I got? I've got a full toothpaste in here, dental floss, you know, all that stuff that you need. And also, but what makes this really practical is I've got more Band-Aids for my Doc Martens, and in here I've got nail clippers. There's nothing so bad as to have, like, you know, you've got a long nail or something, or you've got a chipped nail and you have to cut it off, and you don't have any nail clippers with you. So I actually always travel with nail clippers and scissors, because when you buy stuff or you've got stuff that you haven't unpacked yet, how many times have you been in a hotel room and you just need some scissors to open something? So I always have these as well. And I have actually tried before to go through security with this little bag in my hand luggage, and they pick up on these scissors. So I've learned I always have to check this in. If it's got these tiny scissors, it always has to be checked in. So that's the practical thing. Now, I am going to bring over, considering I'm going to be there for over a week, and in Sydney for a couple of days, this is actually Body Blend's coffee scrub. I love using this. This is in the shower, and you just can scrub your whole body with it, and it leaves your skin so soft and smooth. So the full packet, I actually opened it last night, the full packet is quite big. I tipped out most of it, so I'm just bringing a little bit, but this is enough for 2 showers. So over the course of the week, because I usually use a body scrub a couple of times a week. So I've got my body scrub, Now, what takes up so much room in this little case is, well, I've got my shampoo and conditioner. I've got 2 shampoos and 1 conditioner because I might wash my hair a couple of times. That's possibly too much shampoo, really. I could probably only do with 1, to be 100% honest. I know, I overpack. I know, it's terrible. Now, what takes up so much room is this. I've got really bad teeth, and I've got a really careful teeth regime that I use. So I actually use 3 teeth rinses. So I use Clossies as a pre-rinse, and this is dentist prescribed as well. So this is what a dentist has recommended for me. So I use that as a pre-rinse. I brush my teeth, then I use Listerine after brushing, and then at the end a fluoride rinse. And unfortunately, these leak if they're open. They leak if they're open. We've discovered this from travelling before. So I have to take full bottles of everything, and then that's going to be a real waste because it's just going to stay in Russia, and I can't bring it back home in the suitcase because it'll leak. So that is one of the downsides really of travel, is that you end up having a bit of wastage. What else have I got? I've got a sachet of Block. If you've seen my video on my favourite skincare, you'll know that I'm a huge fan of Block. It's designed by a Gold Coast dermatologist, and so I've got all my Block essentials there. And I'm also packing these sheet masks because in a hotel especially, and because I'm used to a humid environment here, and it's just going to be so dry and cold in Russia that I think my skin's going to get really dry and dehydrated. So these sheet masks are going to be so good. I know, Piper's very interested. He loves stuff like this. More Nurofen in case I get a headache. Vitamin C. This is La Roche-Posay vitamin C. It was on special at Priceline, that's why I got that. Because although I love Block, it can be a little bit pricey. So if the same sort of product, like a vitamin C, is on special at Priceline, I do use other brands as well. And then, even though it's going to be snowing in Russia, sunscreen. I mean, you know, you have to still have sunscreen. The AP Skin, this is the same brand as the Activated Phenolics. This is his skincare, and I've done a video on this too. Honestly, the best stuff ever. It's so hydrating. I use this all the time. So I'm bringing that over. I'm also bringing over the cotton wipes that you use to take your makeup off. So that goes in there. And then along those lines, obviously micellar water to take your makeup off with. But again, see, this is why this is so big and heavy. I'm bringing over a full size because I actually couldn't find a travel size for this. I should look harder. I'm sure there must be a travel size plastic. In fact, there would be. I think I've still got 3 days. I'm going to get a travel size of micellar water because this is ridiculous. This is too much. And what's this? Oh, this is cleanser as well. So this is the same brand. So this is just a cleanser. This is a moisturiser. Block moisturiser. I'll just bring over. See how I've got them in little plastic bags? So this is in case the tube, because I don't know how many suitcases they're going to pile on top of this and how much weight is going to sit on top of this. And if you can just imagine if that bursts and goes everywhere, at least if it's in a sealed plastic bag, even if it bursts, it's going to burst in the bag. This is exciting. This was $5 in Priceline, so this was on special. And it's an exfoliating mask, and it's actually a brand I've never used before, and I haven't even opened it yet. So it's still got that little seal on it, so that's really useful. And it's basically just an exfoliating mask that I'm going to use in the hotel room. I think that'll be nice. It's hydrating, and because I'm not obviously going to bring any of my devices over, so I'm going to sort of be relying on skincare stuff to just kind of get those dead skin cells off and then put moisturiser on. So I know it's horrible bringing all this stuff over, but it's kind of, I don't know, if you're used to all this stuff in your day-to-day life, and then you're suddenly somewhere else and you don't do the same, you know, the cleansers and all that, you just feel horrible, really. So
True.
yeah, so that's pretty much it for this bag. Big and bulky and heavy, but it does fit in my suitcase, and it's pretty much got all the essentials that will make me feel at home, basically, in the Hotel Rossi. exhausted just doing up this zip.
Get used to it.
There you go. All done, all closed, all ready. It is a big deal for me. It's a big country. It's a different country to what I'm used to. Fingers crossed I don't lose my phone and
Nah, you'll be
I get
fine.
Wi-Fi. And Russia stays nice and peaceful for the whole of my stay.
More important than anything.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, you'll be fine. You'll just enjoy the experience and get back safe.
Yeah, that's the aim.